Hello and welcome back to the Simply Greg Show. Thank you very much for everyone who's listening to us today and watching another episode of the Simply Greg Show. As you already know, the Simply Greg Show is all about elevating the mind and inspiring the community by spotlighting the hidden gems in the community. And today we're speaking with Michelle Wille, and she's talking to us about money management and how to be able to live a debt-free life on a shoestring budget. Obviously from part one, if you probably heard, she was talking to us about, addressing the mentality, which is not a consumer mindset, but an investor mindset who understands how to take the benefit from something, but flip it in order to ensure that you don't go at a loss.
That's right.
That's the first thing first. So welcome back. And thank you so much, Michelle, for obviously sharing all these tips. So we talked about the mentality, and we talked about earlier on the consumer mentality, and we talked about being able to detach yourself from the mentality of keeping up with the Joneses, because it's all of those things that is adding up to, the extra cost that is now reducing your bank balance, so you can literally see keeping up with the Joneses, trying to keep up with the next generation. So, and thanks for expressing that, so we can all identify maybe the different pitfalls along the journey of why, some may not be, or some of us may not be living a debt-free life. So what are some of the practicalities that you felt that you was able to put in place in order to enable you to live a debt-free life and have some of the things that you've had, obviously a couple of cars you've had, and obviously, everything else that you've had around you and running your business and so forth, but all from one income. What were some of the practicalities that you're able to provide in order to, be a debt-free individual?
Right. First, Greg, when I used to tell people these things, I had no order of telling people. I was just blurting them out and blah, blah, blah. And they were like, oh, yeah, this is all good. So I thought, I'm going to have to organize this in a way that people can practically do things. I'm a practical person. When I phone you and say, did you do it? And they say, I'm going to do it. I said, no. You haven't made a move, right? So, as you said, you're going to hear some practical things now. One of the practical things I do a course called 21 Steps. Okay, you've mentioned it, right? 21 Steps to Money Success, and I put them into 5 different sections. So let's go through the 5 different sections now. In the first section, it's called Money Mindset, right? People are so what should I say, impatient to get to how that they don't want to even start on that section. That section is going to be 60 to 70% of their success rate. If I can tell you that you can do something, you won't give up halfway through. If I can tell you that putting a plan together will help you, you won't sidetrack it and then think, oh, I know my own better, I've done this. If I can tell you that you can actually do it, if I can show you, reverse, pull back the curtain and say, look, this is what you've been taught. This is what you've been taught. You've been taught that you must have a job. You must get a good job with a pension, and you must work till you're 65. And then you're going to have a few years with the grandchildren, and then you're going to die. Now, that's what you've been told, and that's what you've been that's the pattern that you've been working with. And if I come back and say, all right, I'm going to cancel everything that you've been taught in your mind, that in itself is scary, because that's what you've been holding on to. It's a moving world, and you've been holding on to that, and I'm telling you to let go of it, and I'm going to give you something different. First of all, you're thinking, what are you going to say, Michelle? You're going to brainwash me into something that's, that my family will think that I've gone mad or something, and I'm like, no. And it might seem like I am, but if you hold on to the end of this mindset part, you're going to say, you know what you're saying is true. And I say to people, listen, as I said before in part one, having a salary has a ceiling on it. Having a pension is probably all invested in stocks, and what they're doing is that the pension that you're going to get paid is the younger people that are paying into this pension now. Pensions are just pyramid schemes, basically. You're getting paid by what the people are paying now, and that's what they're paying. So as the older generation gets older, there's more of us, and people are living longer, who's going to be paying into it for everybody to be pulling from it? And I'm going to show people statistics over and over, and I'll say who's going to be the person paying into it so that you can draw on it. And that's exactly how the pension scheme works in the government as well. People are paying their national insurance now so that people get their pensions from the government now. And it's just one big circle, and it goes like that. But that's the problem when the older generation gets bigger than the younger generation. The population is skew with. And you think to yourself, okay, then they think I'm going to have to raise the pension age to 70. That's how that's what they're doing now.
Right now,
and you think,
even the retirement age.
Retirement age, just going to go up and up, and you think, you can't get your pension. You used to be able to get your pension at 60 or even early retirement. But for people at 55 getting their pensions before. Now they're saying, you can't get it before 65 now, going up. They're pushing it along because they have to keep the money turning. So I'm saying to people, by the time you, as a younger person, get to hear what is going to be your situation, let's just put some glasses on so we can
pension not until 95. You'd be like, geez, 95,
Exactly. Exactly. Or they'll just say, from this date there will be no more. They just make these just rules sort of like everybody like, how can we? Plus it's it's invested in different things so that they can make money as well. So if those things don't do well, then, people have less money to draw on in the end. And then, we're told that we must retire at a certain age and, just do nothing. And I say to them, listen, go with the mentality that you will never retire. If you look at the people that people are still looking to for money advice, someone like Warren Beatty, who's like 82. They're like, Warren Beatty said this, and Warren Beatty, they're still quoting the man, and he's in his 80s because he'll never retire. He'll just become a consultant. Don't stop working to stop the mind. Because because the world has told you when you get to a certain age you are no longer needed. But no, not in this time. You can go on and on and on as long as you keep yourself relevant. And that's education. And I keep saying to them, okay, what are you reading at the moment? Usually the answer is nothing. They're not reading anything. No, probably if they're on a course, they're doing their coursework. That's what they're reading. But just the books.
I read it as science book.
Exactly. That they need to pass.
Geometrics.
Exactly. It's just absolutely, once they've answered the question, they'll never use it again in their life. And that's the book they're reading. So I'm thinking, okay, what are you reading? Okay, what are you listening to? What are you watching on YouTube? Who are you mixing with? These are all money mindset. I remember the first day I walked in and I was in a room with 2 millionaires, 2 millionaires. I was like, ooh. And I think to myself now, oh gosh, I can be in a room with like 4 millionaires, but you don't know they're secret millionaires now. Everyone's millionaires. Everybody's house is worth like $1 million now because you think to yourself, hang on, I'm going to have a room with 20 millionaires. But I remember the third day I was like, whoa, and I was like, and I had like 5 minutes with them and I could ask them any questions and I was, going at it. And then afterwards I ended up in a room one day with a billionaire. I was like, okay, this is what I need, And I said, and that was like something that I'd really, wanted to do in my head, at the back of my head. I didn't know that I wanted to do.
Funny enough, just to even highlight what you said, it's very true because a lot of times the millionaires don't look like the millionaires you thought they did. It's not the typical. I think everyone has that typical mentality and a mindset and picture of appearance of what a millionaire looks like, that when you do actually encounter it, it's not the typical. They're not.
I heard a statistic yesterday, I was watching a money program, and it said that 84% of millionaires lose their status within 1 year. Because they probably thought, oh, when I'm a millionaire, I'm going to A, B, and C, D. Same mentality as when they were younger. They didn't have a mentality that when I get bigger, more money, I'm going to invest more so that I can be a billionaire. Then I can stop. You know, it was like, okay, when I'm a millionaire, that's the goal was too short because once they hit 1 million, then afterwards they weren't a millionaire anymore. And people say, okay, when do you stop? When do you enjoy yourself? You enjoy yourself along the way, because this is the mentality is I will spend some, save some, invest some, and that's the mentality to have all the way through life. You do enjoy, but you don't enjoy more than your investments are, and you do still live within your means. You know, it's amazing. My friend used to have a thrift store, and she said she used to be in this lovely country village, she said, and she used to put her stall out. They have a country market. And she said the amount of people that were already queuing before she actually declared herself opened when she was setting up. And they were the people with the big houses, the massive houses that, you know, just the really big houses. And she was like, I expected to be selling to the people, the single mothers or whatever, you know, a lot of the people like, oh, she's come along with her fur coat and she's like, you know, going through. And I said to her, that is true, because I told you before that my husband is from Jersey. Now, to live in Jersey, you have to be a millionaire or you have to be born there. There's just two criteria of being there. So if we wanted to move there, we'd have to be millionaires, and then they'd let us into, because it's a tax-free island.
Okay,
yeah. And when I go there, that's where my in-laws are from. So when I go there and they have garden parties and stuff like that, and I think to myself, oh my gosh, I'm mixing with people. That's what happens when I mix with different people. And you have to be able to talk to these people about something you're doing, but that's not even the point I'm making. On Saturday, Greg, we all go to one place. We go to the Skip.
Yeah, wow.
And you see the same person you were talking to at the garden party.
Wow.
And I think they're just talking to me because they're just friendly.
Yeah.
And I think, hang on, is that the man from yesterday? He goes, yeah, that's why he's talking to you. Because he remembers you from, oh my goodness.
Wow.
We are going through stuff. We're asking, you know, how can we get things for free?
Yeah.
And so many people have come to the Skip now that they now have a Skip shop.
Okay.
Where you can donate some kind of money to, because rich people will get rid of their stuff just like poor people. But rich people have a mentality to stay rich. They need to swap, and you're not having that anymore. You can have that. And they go to the Skip and they feel no way about it.
Wow.
No way whatsoever.
Because they understand the mentality that's necessary to keep the money circulating. They don't buy just to keep, they buy it, but use and then also get something back out of it.
That's what they're going to do. And then
so flip it once again, guys. That seems to be the word.
And when we go to different people's houses, I will say, oh, like this glass is lovely. She said, oh, I got that from the Skip.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a set of 6. Somebody had thrown them out.
Yeah.
And I said, how beautiful. They're lovely. And she said, yeah. And she said, oh, I'll show you some more stuff that I got. I think to myself, oh, but they won't let you do that in England. Yeah, once you take it to the Skip, the council say it's once you put it down. But the councils then go on and sell them.
Okay.
That's why you have to put the fridges.
Yeah, because I don't. That's in Jersey, you say, but not so much.
Over here, we can't do that. Yeah, but Jersey's got the rich people. I don't even think England would even think people would think I'm going to the Skip this Saturday.
Okay, cool.
You wouldn't even celebrate that. That's what I'm saying. That's what
it's a natural thing that they do.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to prove.
The mindset. Yeah.
But I wouldn't even. I try and keep that. No, my God.
I skip what me? No, me. No, it's my twin.
No, my twin. I'm sure I saw you down there.
No, not me,
You're
Michelle.
dragging that
my
piece
twin.
I
got a twin brother.
That sideboard, you were dragging it. No.
Dragging the sideboard.
Yeah.
Dragging the
See, if that was me, I'd be like, you wait till I sand it down. I'm gonna take picture and put it on Facebook. I'm gonna show you. It's gonna look nice. And when people see it, they go, "Oh my gosh, that's the same thing." I said, "Yeah."
So it's addressing the mentality first and be more functional.
You don't care. You have a better way of doing things that they can't see. It's not being shown to them. It's not even on their radar.
Okay, boom.
But rich people are already on that radar. And so they can invest their money. They don't have to spend again at the furniture shop. They don't. And take out credit to buy it. No. No.
Yeah. So, and this is something I've seen some people that I know around me close enough, buy their or get the Lamborghini, but then also just to create a business where they allow people to drive and rent that Lamborghini, where he's now paying that off, and then so it's having that mindset of knowing how to flip it, and so that once he's continued providing that service and he's paid that off, now it's his and sell that and then get another and kind of thing. So it's having that mentality of no, rather than the consumer, which is just I buy it just to enjoy, that's it, I won't flip it, it doesn't go nowhere, and it's gone down the pan. And
then let me just tell you the biggest
thing. At least if you're doing it, then do it obviously with your plan within how you're doing things in terms of how you circulate.
And our mindsets comes from, as I mentioned before, our parents and our cousins and our best friend, and they're often in the same situation we're in. And you have to go to, I started going to these, what do you call them, the meetings, networking meetings, Greg. I just started turning up. I think, I don't know anybody. Okay, just take a deep breath and just turn up. Michelle, just go. And the first day I went, I had a little stall. I said, I'll hide behind this stall, and anybody comes up, I'll talk to them, blah, blah. But the stall holders get 5 minutes to say something about their business. So I get up and I said something about business. And that night I got my 2 first paid bookings for going to the networking meeting. And I was now meeting with people who were like-minded people. And I thought, I don't have to hang around with my friends. I'm always there's a person out there called TDJs, and he always says, if you're the brightest one in the room, then you have to leave. You must make yourself the dumbest one in the room, so you're the one asking the questions. Asking the question, how did you do that? And how did you and that is the mindset, that is the mindset that people should have. Mindset's big. I won't even stay on there too much, Greg, because it's huge and needed. And once you turn someone's mindset to say, right, I've been a victim all my life now.
So what is the main thing that you're saying about mindset? So unlearn what you've been taught. Understand how to be functional and practical, and work and operate in a way that is advantageous to you rather than kind of like we're bringing you down. So
what I'm saying, Greg, is anytime you see the majority doing something, it's usually you need to go the opposite direction.
Okay. That's what I wanted you to...
That is the majority. Everybody's working, saving, getting a mortgage, everything. You think to yourself, okay, everybody, this seems to be the way. But no one seems to be better off than me, and we're all going on the same way. So there must be another way out there, and it's for you to step back and say, right, what's that man doing? Go and find somebody who's doing it and say, what are you doing? What did you do? Like, you keep asking me, tell the people, what did you do? Give them some practical tips. And I said, I stood back, I went on, I found some books and I read them. And, you start with Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He'll tell you.
Yeah, the mentality.
He's got 2 dads. And one of them is working, got a really good job. And the other one is like doing business.
Investor mindset.
And then afterwards, within 5 years, the one who's got a PhD, everybody's going PhD. Why are they going PhD now when you're in your 40s and your 50s? Why are you going for the 4-year degree? You ain't got time for that. You need something to speed it up now. You need to go on a slow boat to China, 4-year degree. The 20-year-olds on the 4-year. So when you both finish, you're going to compete with them. They're going to take the younger person, It's you're going to have to find some way of catching up quickly and thinking, okay, I'm going to stand back and I'm going to do something completely different to what everybody else is doing. And then you'll be able to catch up. And that's just on mindset. But then afterwards, I said to people, listen, organization.
Okay.
Organization. I say to people, like I said to you before, people think that they need more money. And I said, you don't need any money. You just need to organize your money.
Reallocation.
Yeah. People have one bank account and they do everything from that one bank account. I'm like, you can't do everything from the one bank account. Oh, and I have a savings account. Okay, what other accounts do you have? The average millionaire has 8 accounts.
Wow.
Right? You want to be putting some money somewhere where you don't touch it ever again. And then that is for, you name that. I said, name your accounts. Don't just have accounts where you got money going. What's that for? Because if you need money, you'll take it from anywhere. But if you know that's for the next new car coming up, you don't. That's car money. Call it car money. That account is car money. This account is your daughter is now 12 and she's going to university.
So you're doing it from now.
Yeah, that's your uni. I said, get organized from now, because the thing about people, they don't understand that the future is coming. Unless always say to them, one thing about the future, right? It will arrive unless you die. Or you're not planning to be here, or you're just going to end up there and go, oh no, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. And I said, no, the thing about the future, you need to get organized from now. And I said, you just get organized. I said, go back to these accounts. I said, get these different accounts, okay? Name them. And don't let them overlap. Some people save in their current account. Just leave the money to go over, roll over. No, you got to take it out. And then I said, okay, what about investments? Like, invest who? It's very scary money. I know. You do have to get organized. And when you start, it's just, that's why I did them all in steps. And I said to them, don't skip the step. Because once you get the step, then you go on to the next one. I said, then you'll be able to look back and say, look how far I've come. But if you hear a step and I say investment and you go, no, I don't want to invest anything, and you go on to the next one, then afterwards, when you get to another one, you might say, oh gosh, I should have put some money
in investment
funds. Because now
because the returns from that is what you should be using
later
rather
on.
than using from...
Exactly. And I said, this is going to give you 3 times as much. So when you get to here, you can call in some of that, take some profits, and then let that go again, and then pay for that debt-free. But you weren't organised enough to do it.
At the get-go first, You
weren't organised to...
So now you're robbing Peter to pay Paul instead of using that from what you said. Now
you're further down the road. You stayed alive. You didn't die. And you're here, and you're looking at someone else. And you can have resentment as well over this, because you can look at somebody else who's, especially the younger people, they're kind of, they want to do it right and whatever. And you could think, oh, they're far ahead of me. This is not right. And when I said you had the opportunity, a lot of us did not have the opportunity and we didn't know. But I find that people don't make a move once they do know.
And that's where the problem lies.
That's where the problem lies. Once you know, then you need to make a move. Okay.
And any final other tips that they need to take on board as well?
Right. Everyone needs a budget. Right? Don't just have your money going in and out. And some things you need to reduce your costs. And also the future. I'm going to skip right to the future. I'm not even going to do debts. Everybody knows they have to get rid of their debts. But I'm going to go to the future, because this is where people have GoFundMe pages. They have no wills. And they just look silly. Their legacy that they leave at the end of their at the end of their life, is one that they show the world that they were unorganized. You can hide it, money, you can hide it for the rest of your life. But if your daughter can't bury you, then that is a testament of your whole, it's like someone's just, lifted up your dress. So there you go. That's it. That's what you're exposed. You could see that you didn't have things in order. And that is very complicated. As you can see, Greg, the money is not, it's not just a what.
So what should they do? So you're saying that obviously get their will sorted out.
Get their will sorted out.
Yeah.
If you can't have, if you're over 55, get an over 55s plan. It's only like £7, but it will pay out after about 2 or 3 years. And they'll be able to pay for your funeral. You won't have to. Everyone won't have to be scouring around. The next thing, if you do have a policy, you need to put it in an envelope and write, this is after my death envelope. Label it. Show someone where it was. We've recently had a death in our family, and we everybody's scouring around for paperwork. My extended family, and everyone was scouring around for the paperwork to see, where it was. But and that's a shame as well, because you might have been organised, but you just didn't tell anybody where you put the paperwork, or it might be on a policy that no one knows your password for. So you get an envelope, and I put that in organisation. Let be organised. So if any of us don't wake up the next morning, our partner can just pick up our envelope and say everything's in here. It's
inside. Yeah.
And that takes the stress off at the time as well.
And lastly, just before we obviously close this as well, what about when it comes to like mortgages and things like that? How can people also take that journey?
Right. Mortgage is usually the last thing that you're going to
to finish your debt for.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
A lot of people want to be mortgage free, but they are not organised. And they're not, and they spend all their money off. They haven't got, by week 2 they haven't got any money left. Blah 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 blah. So if you need to get organised, you need to get your budget and everything sorted out before that. I would say get rid of all debt. Credit card debt, get rid of it. And everybody stop using your overdrafts. I'm going to tell everybody, right? An overdraft is 39%. 2 years ago, the government was told they had to put an APR. They used to put a daily rate, and it used to say 0.01 per day. And you used to think, my overdraft's all right. And the government said, stop that. Look at your overdraft when you go home today. It's going to say at the bottom, this relates to 39% APR. A credit card is 19%. An overdraft is 39%. Just not knowing these things and not having an education about these things, you're paying double. You may as well be using your credit card because it's half price.
Wow. She's definitely kicking some knowledge and giving you something there as well. So, but yeah, it sounds like there's a lot more that we could obviously go through as well. But if you want to find out more information, you can definitely connect yourself with Michelle in order to get involved in the money management kind of program and so forth. How can they connect with you, Michelle, if they want to know more and obviously take on this program?
Yeah, okay. If you go to the mmhub.com. So that's the money management hub. People can't spend all that. So you say the mmhub.com /info. Okay, it'll take you straight to where you can read about everything. Or even if you end up on the first page, it will lead you there. Also, you can send me an email at michelle@themmhub.com. If you're on Facebook, you can go to the Money Management Hub page. There, I still have the Shoestring Money page where I started giving people bargain upon bargain. That's still on Facebook, and the videos are still there and still very relevant. So you can get hold of me in any kind of way. If you go onto Instagram, it's called Michelle's Money Talks. Okay.
Amazing. So that's how you can obviously connect with her, and she's definitely been giving us a lot of gems that we can obviously take with us as well to apply, especially when she spoke about a mentality and a mindset to have. Don't just buy to enjoy, but buy to flip as well at the same time. Even though there was, that's the best word we can actually use at the present moment. You know what I'm saying? Like literally. So just keep, making it happen so it works for you rather than working against you. And also disconnect yourself from having to keep up with the Joneses and external pressure, but live according to your means and according to what you can obviously make happen, and organize yourself as well. Put things in check. Open up the different accounts for different things. The future will come. It's just how prepared are you for it? Don't get yourself in the future and then say I wasn't prepared, because you had all the time in the world in the past. So today you've been amazing. I've been Simply Greg, and this is a Simply Greg show as per usual. You can connect with us at Simply Greg Show on Instagram, at Simply Greg Show on Facebook, at Simply Greg Show on Twitter as well. Today we've been speaking about how to live a debt-free life with a shoestring budget. My guest has been Michelle Wille. You've been amazing. I've been Simply Greg. Until next time, We'll see you soon. Take care.
Bye.